Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Maths and Matrix. In this particular session, I have brought for you the top 20 questions on the very important topic, that is trigonometry, for your preparation towards NDA 2 2024 written examination. So let us begin with this session with all top questions on this particular topic with the very first question of this session. Here, this is a question from inverse trigonometry, and the basic formulae of inverse trigonometry you must revise to answer such kind of questions. So this question is basically on the formula of tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equals to tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy when you have verified that x into y is less than 1. So this is the formula we are employing into this problem, but here we have to convert very first sine inverse 3 upon 5 into tan inverse. So for that you can just take in help of acute angle triangle, where you can consider sine inverse of 3 by 5 as theta. So you can see that sine theta is 3 by 5. So when you make an acute triangle with the sine theta value 3 by 5, you can directly obtain tan theta as 3 by 4, because 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triplet. So hence the given question is now reduced to what? Tan inverse of, because tan theta equal to 3 by 4 means theta. What is the theta value for this particular entity? You got tan inverse of 3 by 4 plus tan inverse of 1 by 7, and applying this formula here now. So you will get tan inverse of 3 by 4 plus 1 by 7 upon 1 minus 3 by 4 into 1 by 7. When you simplify this, you will get the numerator ratio 25 by 28, even denominator ratio 25 by 28, which is ultimately telling you that it is the value tan inverse of 1, which is equals to pi by 4. And hence the answer option number B for this. Alright, coming on to the next question, and this is a question on properties of triangle. You must prepare the basic important formulae of properties of triangle to answer such simple questions in your upcoming written exam too. So you see that there is a demand for value of cot A by 2 and cot C by 2. Basically in this chapter you have covered so-called the formulas of half angle for tan. Okay, so you must recall tan A by 2 formula is root over S minus B into S minus C upon S into S minus A. Now what are these symbols? S, A, B, C. Some of you who prepared, you know that, but others, let me tell you, S is a semi-perimeter of the triangle with the sides A, B, C. Small a is the side opposite to the angle A, small b is opposite to the angle B, and similarly small c side represent the side opposite to the angle C. So tan A by 2 is this formula. Then what do you write for cot A by 2? It will be reciprocal. And for cot C by 2, how do you set up the formula? You will need the tan C by 2 formula, which will be, if you see the pattern, the denominator, the angle A, its side opposite is in the denominator with S. So similarly, tan C by 2, the denominator has to be S into S minus C, and the numerator remaining 2, that is S minus B into S minus A. So you have to use this formula of tan A by 2 and tan C by 2 for cot A by 2, cot C by 2 as its reciprocal. So therefore, the question part is becoming, I am taking up the formula now, it is becoming under the root, because both the formula are under the root. So I am writing the reciprocal of tan A by 2 and tan C by 2, which is basically S into S minus A into S minus C whole divided by what you have got, S minus A, then we have S minus B twice in the numerator. You can see this term and here term, so it's square, and what remains? S minus C. So you can see that S minus C is getting cancelled, S minus A is getting cancelled, and the remaining part is S upon S minus B. Now what is S? S is A plus B plus C by 2, semi-perimeter. So basically then S value if you substitute and S minus B value when you substitute, you will get the answer. So let us do that part. So S is here. We have S is equals to A plus B plus C whole divided by 2 in the numerator, and denominator S minus B. Here we have S A plus B plus C by 2. Okay, then minus B we have, right? So minus 2B. So what basically you will have? A plus C minus B, because plus B minus 2B whole divided by 2. So whole divided by 2 is anyway getting cancelled, and what you are remain with, you see the numerator part. Here you can use this given A plus C value turns out to be 2B. So 2b plus b, 3b numerator, and denominator a plus c is 2b minus b. We have got there b. So the value you got it, yes, 3. Hence the answer option number B for this. Alright, coming on to the next question now. Very simple question. You must understand here, you are given that in a triangle ABC, if you note to this fact that the ratio of these two expressions, that is sine square A plus sine square B plus sine square C upon cos square A plus cos square B plus cos square C is 2. If you know that this is the this is a statement satisfied by ABC angles in a triangle ABC, then what can you say about the triangle? Will it be a right angled, equilateral, isosceles, obtuse angle triangle? Well, to talk about obtuse angle triangle, better we speak about first other three options, because one of them can be easily possible there because we have got the value 2. So you can see that equilateral triangle, if you try to verify each angle 60 degrees, definitely the ratio will not turn up to be 2. Even for isosceles triangle, when you have one angle fixed and other two angles equal, the angles can be as random as, like, you can have 45, 45, 90. And isosceles is not only this, no, there is another chance also. What is that? It can be, what do you say? Say if I say 40 is one of the angle, then remaining is 140, which can be divided into 70, 70, right? So there can be, apart from this particular 45, 45, 90, there are many isosceles triangles. So when you say the statement is true, it has to true for any isosceles triangle, which is not possible for generic angles, okay, ABC. So what is the hint for such kind of problem? See, you just always check for easy option of it. What is the easy option? Right angle triangle. So what do you mean by right angle triangle? Right angle triangle is that triangle, sum of the three angles is 180 degree, though one of the angle is fixed. So I am fixing the angle C, say 90 degrees. Then definitely A plus B turns out to be 90 degree. That is the speciality of right angle triangle. And one of the isosceles triangle, 45, 45, 90 is itself a right angle triangle. So that triangle can be fit into this category of right angle triangle. So what do I here mean to say to you all? That the right angled triangle family, the triangles with each one of the angle is fixed to 90. So whenever one of the angle is fixed 90, like I fixed the angle C, the remaining two angles sum will be 90. So with this fact, you can easily verify that this is the true for these all right angle triangle. Because what is happening, the numerator part, sine square A plus the second term in the numerator, sine square B, I can write it as now cos square A, because A and B are complementary, and sine square C value is 1. Similarly, in the denominator, if I keep cos square A as it is, cos square B, I can write it as sine square A, because A and B are complementary, isn't it? And cos 90 is 0. So you can see that 1 plus 1, this identity, right? 1 plus 1, 2 upon 1. What is the value? 2. So this is the fact is verified by any right angle triangle. And here's the answer, option number A. Alright, coming on to the next question, the basic fundamental question. See, inverse trigonometry, you should revise all the important formulae along with the principal value branches for inverse trigonometric functions. So what is the principal value branch for sine inverse x? This is just a oral, right, a question. The concept based, you must aware that principal value branch of the sine inverse x function is closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, which is a restricted domain, the principal value domain for the sine x function to exert its inverse. So remember this is a remembering based question. So option B is the right choice. Alright, coming on to the next question now. The value of tan 9 degrees minus tan 27 degrees minus tan 63 degrees plus tan 81 degrees is equal to. So if you closely notice this problem, there you see tan 9 and tan 81. Their angles 9 and 81 are complementary. So what you can do with them is that let us write tan 9 as it is, and this tan 81 you can write its complementary ratio as cot 9 degrees. Similarly, the remaining two ratios I am taking minus common. Tan 27 preferring to write as it is. Tan 63. 63 is a complementary of 27, so I am writing that as cot 27. So now you can simplify this. What is a bracket here? Sine by cos, sine by cos. Sorry, sine by cos for tan and cos by sine for cot. So when you cross multiply, you will get there sine square 9 degree plus cos square 9 degrees divided by sine 9 degrees into cos 9 degrees. Then minus, similarly the second bracket turns out to be sine square 27 degrees plus cos square 27 degrees. This is divided by sine 27 degrees into cos 27 degrees. So when you simplify this, the numerator, you are getting it as 1 upon sine 9 cos 9. And when I multiply and divide by 2, it becomes 2 sine 9 cos 9, which is sine 18 degrees. Okay, minus 1 upon, here also sine 27 into cos 27, multiply and divide by 2, it becomes sine of 54 degrees, because 2 sine A cos A is a formula of sine 2A. So this is what you got. See, answer to this question turns out to be D. I am trying to verify this for you. So what did we got? Taking 2 out, we have the numerator sine 54 degrees minus sine 18 degrees upon sine 54 degrees into sine 18 degrees. I have cross multiplied the terms now, okay, by cross multiplication. So you can see that then numerator part, it becomes sine C minus sine D formula. Can you recall sine C minus sine D formula? Sine C minus sine D formula is 2 cos C plus D by 2 into sine C minus D by 2. So when you apply this formula here, it becomes 2 cos C plus D. 54 plus 18, what it would be? 50 plus 10, 60, 64 plus 8. 64 plus 8 going to be 72. 72 by 2. So cos 36 degrees into sine C minus D. 54 minus 18, 36. 36 by 2, it becoming 18. And this is all divided by, you have sine 54 degrees into sine 18 degrees. So you can see the simplification now. Sine 18 degrees, these terms are getting cancelled. And what else you have there? That cos 36 is same as sine 54, because 54 and 36 are complementary angles. So cos 36 degrees, note, cos 36 is same as sine 54, because it can be written as sine of 90 minus 36, which is sine 54. Hence the answer 2 into 2, 4. That is how I proved it. The option is D for this. Coming on to the next question now. In this question, you are asked the value of root 3 cosec 20 degrees, root 3 cosec 20 degrees minus secant 20 degrees equal to. So basically such kind of questions needs adjustment to convert it into, a compound angle formula. So I am multiplying and dividing by 2. Okay, multiplying and dividing by 2, and in that the division part is useful in the problem solving. So the numerator part 2 as it is, denominator part root 3 by 2 cosec 20 degrees minus 1 by 2 secant 20 degrees. So basically converting this into sine and cos, you're going to see root 3 by 2 into, this is 1 by sine 20 degrees minus 1 by 2, 1 by cos 20 degrees. So you have basically now 2 upon the denominator sine 20 into cos 20, and the numerator part is root 3 by 2 cos 20 minus 1 by 2 sine 20 by cross multiplication. So you can see that the bracket has now become the compound angle. So 2 divided by sine 20 cos 20, it will become 4 divided by, if you multiply and divide by 2, it becomes sine 40. Would you get that? So because I multiplied and divided by 2 there, and the bracket has become, it's like root 3 by 2 and cos 20. Root 3 by 2, if you take that as sine 60 cos 20, and this half is cos 60. So it's becoming sine A cos B minus cos A sine B, which is sine of A minus B, that is sine of 60 minus 20. Isn't it? This is the formula it becoming, which is sine 40 getting cancelled, and hence the answer again the option A with the value 4. Alright, coming on to the next question, which is on again the trigonometry here. There you know that angle alpha is divided into 2 parts, A and B. So basically they say that then A plus B add up to alpha. But what else they say? Also such that there is some A minus B which is equals to X. So when you know this, you can handle this. You have got the A ka value, which is alpha plus X by 2. And when you subtract it or put it in one of the form, you will get B value, which is alpha minus X by 2. You can check this if you want. This is just by solving this equation 1 and 2. This you got solving 1 and 2. Coming on to this A and B angle with the further given part, tan A by tan B is P by Q. If you know this, you are asked to determine sin X. But what does this ratio gives to you? Sin A, okay, tan A means sin A by cos A. So it is sin A because it's a ratio of the two fractions, which are like sin A by cos A, and again the denominator sin B by cos B. So basically it becoming sin A cos B upon cos A sin B it will become. You can check the simplification at your end here. So you can see that then you have got the sin A into cos B by cos A into sin B equal to P by Q. In that, you know the A value, you know the B value. If you substitute that, what do you get? The numerator part. You got that as sine of alpha plus x by 2 into cos of alpha minus x by 2. This is all divided by cos of alpha plus x by 2 and sine of alpha minus x by 2. If you multiply and divide by 2 here, you can see they are the transformation formulae from trigonometry. 2 sine c plus d by 2 cos c minus d by 2, which is the formula of sin C plus sin D. Okay, and denominator 2 cos C plus D by 2 sin C minus D by 2 is the formula of sin C minus sin D. But what is C and D formula here? C is this alpha and D is the x. So you have got simply here sin alpha plus sin x upon sin alpha minus sin x. So ultimately you have come to the conclusion part, which will give you the answer D. But let me confirm that to you, that you have got sin alpha plus sin x whole divided by sin alpha minus sin x equals to P by Q now. But we want what? We want the value of sin x. So we can perform componendo and dividendo on these two ratios. Because when you know A by B is equals to C by D, componendo dividendo means A plus B by A minus B is equals to C plus D by C minus D. This is called componendo dividendo property. So when I apply this here, so when you add the numerator and denominator in the numerator, sin x will get cancelled. So you'll get 2 sin alpha, and when you subtract in the denominator, alpha get cancelled, you'll get 2 sin x equals to P plus Q by P minus Q. So now you can see that then sin x value is equals to P minus Q upon P plus Q. This is into with sin alpha. So you can see we have arrived at the option D for this question. Isn't it so? Coming on to the next question, which is a concept based. You must remember root over 1 plus sin A. Root over 1 plus sin A will be negative times sin A by 2 plus cos A by 2 when it is from the range 3 pi by 2 less than A less than 7 pi by 2. So answer is option C to this. Coming on to the next question, 9. The angle of elevation of a stationary cloud from a point 25 meter above a lake is 15 degrees and the angle of depression of its image in the lake is 45 degrees. So first of all, the diagram you have to visualize here, that you have a surface, the lake is flowing. So there is a level of the lake. So suppose this is the level of the lake level I am saying. Okay, and now they say that the angle of elevation of a stationary cloud from a point 25 meter above a lake. This was the lake level. So from this point, you are observing a stationary cloud somewhere here. Suppose here it is. And that angle of elevation is 15 degrees. Okay, sorry. We have to take 25 meter above. No, I just directly took from the level. 25 meter above they said. So from this point, you just trace the another 25 meter distance, and from there you are seeing the stationary cloud somewhere here, which is at the inclination of elevation 15 degrees. This is the 15 degrees elevation. Now this cloud shadow, the image has fall here in the lake. Okay, and the depression, angle of depression of its image, you can see that the angle of depression of its image from the same point, which is 25 meter above a lake, is given it to be 45 degrees. So you know that this is 45, means the alternate angle here, it will be the 45. Okay, so this is a straight line like this here. So you can see that this is the lake level, this distance, say h, then the corresponding the letter distance is also h. Okay, so now you have this length is 25 meters. Okay, so this length is 25 meters. So what are unknown here? So we have to consider one horizontal length here. So this is again, this will be the parallel segment to this h part. So it is h. So I am taking this unknown part to be x. Alright. So now what is asked in this question is the height of the cloud above the lake level. what is the height of the cloud above the lake level? This was a lake level point, and from here, height of the cloud. So this length h we are asked in this question. Okay, so we can see that then we can use the formula of your tan 15 degrees. When you are using, no, be careful, you are using this triangle. Okay, and this part of this height is h minus 25, because total part was h there. Okay, so h minus 25. So I'm writing tan 15 degrees for you, which is h minus 25 upon the unknown x, because this also x and this also x, parallel segments x. Okay, tan 15, how do you find? It is sine 15 by cos 15. Sine 15, or you can say tan 15, you can find out by formula tan of 45 minus 30. Tan of 45 minus 30. So which will be, 1 minus 1 by root 3 upon 1 minus 1 plus 1 by root 3. So it will be root 3 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1. Calculate that yourself. So you will get this statement here. This is your equation number 1. Let us say equation number 1. And now the second equation you will get by using this triangle. That 45 degree angle is there. So tan 45 degrees, you can see that tan 45 opposite is 25 plus h. H plus 25, and this is divided by x. So x value, because tan 45 is 1. So x value is h plus 25. So this value of x you can substitute in the equation 1 and calculate the h, which you will get the answer B. Let me verify that for you. So I am calculating now h plus h minus 25 by x value that we had, which is h plus 25 equals to RHS. We have root 3 minus 1 upon root 3 plus 1 from the equation 1 we have got earlier. So now you can see that I can simply solve this equation by cross multiplying for the h value. So you can solve this root 3h minus 25 root 3. Okay, then multiply by 1. So plus h minus 25. Then similarly other side root 3h, right? Then 25 root 3 you have. Then minus h minus 25 you have. That was equal to, okay, cross multiplication 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is equals to the other term. So you can see the cancellation, root 3h get cancelled on both sides, even minus 25 get cancelled on both sides. So what we have, simplify h, 2h in the LHS, because this minus h in the LHS becomes plus h, and 25 root 3 added in the RHS side. So it becomes 50 root 3, which gives us h is equals to clearly 25 root 3, which is the answer, option P. Clear? Coming on to the next question now, number 10. The angles of elevation of a tower from a top and foot of a pole are respectively 30 degrees and 45 degrees. So basically on a surface here, suppose this is only the surface you have. So consider this is to be, ground surface, and there we have a tower and we have a small short pole. So from the top of the pole, they mention the angle of elevation of top of a tower, which is, 30 degrees. And they mention from the foot of the pole, the angle of elevation to the top of the tower is 45 degrees. So this is 45 degrees and the earlier elevation was 30 degrees. So when you know, and you also know there that the height of the tower is ht, and the height of, the pole, which is going alongside here, this is HP part, this much part is HP. Okay, so when you know this, you are asked to verify now which of the following are correct statements. So first of all, if you see this upper triangle with the angle 30 degrees, in this upper triangle, you have got the opposite side, which is the remaining part of HT. Out of total HT, the remaining part, what it would be HT minus HP, right? And this adjacent side is unknown. So I'm taking that adjacent side to be certain X. See, so you can write down then tan 30 degrees is equals to HT minus HP upon X. So X value, tan 30, 1 by root 3. So it will be root 3 times HT minus HP. Right? Now when you use the tan 45 degrees, now I am considering about this particular triangle where there is a 45 degree angle. So opposite will be now, so opposite side for this 45 degree will be the whole ht, right? Height of the tower divided by x again. So x is becoming ht here directly because tan 45 is 1. So when you substitute the value of x in above equation, you can get some simplification which will give you the answers. That answer will be the option C, that is 1 and 2 are correct. But let me here look at the simplification part for you. So you have got, so using this x value ht and the earlier equation that we obtained, that this one, okay, we can verify that the statement 1 and 2 holds very much true for this, because if you take the statement 1 LHS part, 2 times ht, okay, divided by 3 plus root 3, where if you substitute there the value of hp or ht, one of them, okay, hp or ht, if you would like to substitute there, so you can see that then that value 2 into hp, I'm writing as it is, hp as it is, then ht value, how can you write? See, we have obtained the equation so far. So now ht is equals to root 3 times ht minus root 3 times hp. So if I'm writing hp as it is, then ht I have to substitute. Okay, ht will be 1 minus root 3 is equals to minus root 3 hp. It's just a matter of simplification. You have to sit and simplify. So hp as it is I'm writing, because we can see RHS we want in terms of HP. So HT value is this now. Okay, HT value is, so root 3 minus root 3 HP divided by, you have 1 minus root 3. Okay, and this is like denominator was 3 plus root 3. So you can take the root 3 common there. You can simplify this. If you simplify this, what do you get? If you simplify this, root 3 will get cancelled. Moreover, it become a 1 plus root 3 and 1 minus root 3, right? So the simplification part yielding you there, it's what, minus 2 root 3 hp square, and the denominator, by taking root 3 common, it becomes root 3, 1 minus root 3, 1 plus root 3, which is 1 minus 3. Okay, so you can see the root 3 cancel and minus 2 cancel, you'll get hp squared. Similarly, I'm leaving behind for you this part. The second equation is so true about it. You can simply just handle this equation that we have obtained now to see that ht minus hp upon root 3 plus 1 is equals to hp by 2. You can just verify by taking LHS and substituting the one of the value. ht you substitute so that you get in terms of hp, and hence the answer option C for this. Coming on to the next question, number 11. Sine A is given to you and the angle A is in the 45 degree to 540 range, which is the range of again second quadrant after first rotation. 360 plus 90, when you go, it will be 450, sorry, the first quadrant again, and then till 540 it will go to second quadrant. So ultimately A is in the second quadrant, Q2. So A is in the Q2. So sine A is 3 by 5 means cos A will be minus 4 by 5, because 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triplet. Isn't it so? Now why I have listed value of cos A for you? Because you are asked about cos A by 2. You know that cos A by 2 formula. See, you know this formula, cos 2 cos square A by 2. 2 cos square A by 2 can be written as 1 plus cos A. So cos A by 2 formula, you can remember plus or minus root over by sending this 2 down, root over 1 plus cos A by 2. Out of this plus or minus, how do you take? Based on where this A by 2 angle lies. Now A is in the Q2, second quadrant. So A by 2 will be, what do you get the range of A by 2? You divide this whole equation by 2, 450 divided by 2. What do you get? Then 2 and 5, 225 degrees less than A by 2 less than 227, and you have 0. So which is the range of, yes, the more than 180 and less than 270 means A by 2 goes to Q3. In Q3 cos is negative. Right, so therefore you have got the cos A by 2 value is equals to negative root of 1 plus cos A, which is minus 4 by 5 upon 2. When you solve this, you will get minus 5 minus 4, that is 1 by 5 by 2, that is 1 by 10. So minus root over 1 by 10, which is not given in the option. So we have to go with the option D. I mean ABC, it doesn't match. So D is the answer. Coming on to the next question now. What is the value of this particular expression? Here you can see that there we have certain unknown angles, sine 10 degrees and cos 10 in the denominators. You can get them in numerator by, cross multiplying. So it is cos 10 degrees minus root 3 sine 10 degrees. Isn't it so? Cos 10 degrees minus root 3 sine 10 degrees. And this is all divided by sine 10 into cos 10. So when you multiply by 2 to numerator and denominator, 2 sine 10 cos 10, it will become sine of 20 degrees, sine to a formula. Okay. So why I did this? Because there is a important clue there that this angle is non-standard and it has to be simplified, get cancelled to get the standard value as the answer. Right. And here if you multiply numerator and denominator only for the numerator by 2, there you get the 4. Right, and the numerator part, it is becoming 1 by 2 sine 10 minus root 3 by 2 sine 10, cos 10 and sine 10. Sorry, cos 10 first term and the latter term sine 10. This is all divided by sine 20. So you can see that the numerator again can become the compound angle formula by substituting this half as sine 30 and root 3 by 2 as cos 30. So sine 30 cos 10, cos 30 sine 10 minus. So sine of A minus B. So it is ultimately becoming 30 minus sine of 30 minus 10, which is sine 20, which is getting clearly cancelled. Always it happens like that. So always for such non-standard angle based questions you have to try to get a compound angle formula set there. Okay, so hence the answer option D for this particular question. Moving forward with the next question. Now here you are asked the value of K sine pi by 18 sine 5 pi by 18 into sine 7 pi by 18, where you can note that pi by 18 is simply reducing to what? 10 degrees. So basically your question is about K is equals to product of sine 10, sine 50 and sine 70. No worries at all. You just try to take care of the formula there. Sine A into sine B. Multiply and divide by 2 there. So both the side if you do so. So 2K is equals to this 2 into sine A sine B, which is a result of cos A minus B, that is cos 40 minus A cos A plus B. Cos A minus B minus cos A plus B formula, you will get sine A sine B twice. Okay, so cos A plus B 60. This is multiplied by sine 70. See, I have used here formula. What is that formula I have used? 2 sine A sine B formula is cos of A minus B minus cos of A plus B. I have used this formula. So when you apply now further this simplification, this cos 60 is what? Half. Right? Cos 60 is half. And when you do the LCM, it becomes 4 in the LHS and it becomes 2 cos 40 minus 1 multiplied by sine 70. So when you multiply the sine 70 inside the bracket, 4K is equals to 2 cos 40 degrees into multiplying by sine 70 degrees, then minus sine 70 degrees. So handle this again. The first term you see, this first term is a 2 cos A sine B, which is a result of sine A plus B minus sine A minus B. Isn't it? Okay, so you can, it's not mandatory. It's cos, sine, you can write sine cos. So you can use sine A plus B plus sine A minus B formula also, stating that A is 70 and B is 40 because we want A to be 70 like that. So answer comes out to be answer C, but I would like to prove this for you. So we have obtained so far 4K is equals to, okay, 4K is equals to the first term is becoming sine of A, sine of, what do you get? A plus B, that is 70 plus 40, then minus sine of A minus B sine 30. Okay, then we have got minus sine 70 degrees left. So what do you get? You will get here 4K is equals to bracket value sine 110 degrees minus half. Okay, minus half. Okay, plus half. Sorry, I told you know what I'm doing. I am taking this 2 sine 70 cos 40 as the formula of sine A plus B, 70 plus 40 minus, not plus, because I want to have 2 sine A cos B. So plus sine 70 minus 40. This formula I have applied here, students. So I'll get this plus half. Sine A plus B plus sine A minus B minus sine 70 degrees. So now you know that this 110 and 70 are supplementary angles. So sine 110, you can write it as sine of 180 minus 70, which is sine 70 only. Right? So sine 70 plus half minus sine 70 you got. So sine 70 is getting cancelled anyway. And k value you are obtaining to be 1 by 8. And hence the answer already said option C. Coming on to the next question now. The expression equal to. So look at the numerator. It's sine C plus sine D formula. So 2 sine C plus D by 2 into cos C minus D by 2. And denominator sine C, cos C plus cos D formula. So 2 cos C plus cos D formula gets you the first term of the compound angle, cos. So 2 cos alpha plus beta by 2 into cos alpha minus beta by 2. So alpha minus beta by 2 angle based term is getting cancelled. Sin alpha plus beta by 2, so cos alpha plus beta by 2 is returning back to the tan. Now tan alpha plus beta by 2, that is the option, hence the A. So let's consider this question number 15th now. We know sin theta is equals to 3 times sin of theta plus 2 alpha. To obtain the value of tan of theta plus alpha plus 2 times tan alpha. So first of all, what is given, try to focus on it. We can write that part as sin of theta plus alpha minus alpha, right? And right side 3 times sin of theta plus alpha plus alpha. So basically here you have sin of, like this is A and that is B angle. The combo alpha, theta plus alpha, take A. Same there, A angle and B angle. So basically you have sin of A minus B equal to 3 times sin of A plus B. So when you apply this formula, you will get sin theta plus alpha cos alpha minus cos theta plus alpha sin alpha. And right side, when you apply that formula, 3 times sin of theta plus alpha cos alpha plus 3 times, okay. Then cos of theta plus alpha into sin alpha. This is what you have. Applying formula of sin of A plus B and A minus B on RHS and LHS. So what you have then, you can see that you want to convert this into tan of theta plus alpha. So you should divide throughout by tan of theta plus alpha and cos alpha. Divide throughout by cos of theta plus alpha and cos alpha. Isn't it? So when you do that on both sides, divide by cos of theta plus alpha into cos alpha on both sides. What do you get? This LHS, this first term becomes tan of theta plus alpha into tan alpha. We get cos alpha get cancelled there because cos alpha is there in the first term. Cos alpha get cancelled. This term get cancelled, right? And sin theta plus alpha upon cos theta plus alpha becomes tan theta plus alpha minus second term. Cos theta plus alpha is getting cancelled, and this time we are remained with sin alpha upon cos alpha, which is becoming what? Tan alpha there. So this is becoming tan alpha. Right side 3 times. When you perform the division for the bracket terms, cos alpha cancels, so you have tan of theta plus alpha, and the second term cos theta plus alpha get cancelled, you have tan alpha. Oh, well done. So then we have got through the answers. The answer should be 0. Let us simplify. So LHS we have got tan of theta plus alpha minus tan of alpha. RHS we have 3 times tan of theta plus alpha plus 3 times tan of alpha. So we can see that bringing all the terms to RHS, 3 times minus 1 time becomes 2 times tan of theta plus alpha, 3 times tan alpha plus we have alpha, which becoming 4 times tan alpha equals to 0. So we can see that then tan of theta plus alpha plus 2 times tan of alpha is ultimately 0 by dividing 2 out by 2. So that value that they demanded is actually 0, option B. Coming on to the next question about finding the tan of 18 degrees value. Tan 18 degrees, to find out, at least you should remember that sine of 18 is root 5 minus 1 by 4. At least if you remember this one, you can calculate value for all the other trigonometric ratio just with the help of a triangle. So you know now you make an acute angle triangle with this 18 degree value for this sine ratio. Opposite is root 5 minus 1, hypo is 4. So what should be the the adjacent this side x. So x square should be equal to 16 minus root 5 minus 1 square. So what do you get this to be? 16 minus 5. Then the middle term minus 2 root 5 become plus 2 root 5 because of the minus here. And then minus 1, right? So you have got then 15 minus 5, which is by taking 5 common, 3, right? 15 minus 5. Oh, sorry. We can't take that 5 common. So 15 minus 5, we have got 10 plus 2 root 5 as the x square value, and we need its square root. So we will take it. So tan 18 degrees, basically you have opposite root 5 minus 1 and adjacent the x value, you got it root over 10 plus 2 root 5. Now could you see the answer? Root 5 minus 1 upon root over 10 plus 2 root 5. Root over 10 plus 2 root 5. So 2 root 5, it's in the option A. Closely you see. So hence the answer option A for this. Coming on to the next question. Now in this we have given tan of alpha plus beta value and tan of alpha minus beta value to find out tan to alpha. Well, tan to alpha you can write alpha plus alpha and adjust in that minus beta plus beta. So there you go by grouping them, tan of alpha plus beta, right, plus alpha minus beta. Tan of alpha plus beta plus alpha minus beta. So it's a tan of A plus B formula where A is alpha plus beta, B is alpha minus beta, which becomes then tan of A plus tan of B upon 1 minus tan A into tan B using the formula, and substitute the values now. When you substitute the values they given, you will get easily the option A. Let me verify that for you. So 2 plus 1 upon 1 minus 2. So you have got 3 by minus 1, that is minus 3. Option A. Coming on to the next question. Now secant theta minus cosecant theta is given to be 4 by 3 to find out sin theta minus cos theta. Well, this value will be the half only, but how do you get that? See, the hint is secant theta and cosecant theta, you can see that their difference is 4 by 3. Okay, so theta is an angle considered in the first quadrant. Okay, clearly because the secant theta minus cosecant theta is equal to 4 by 3. So theta must be in the Q1. So now to find out this value, so you can see that you can write that as 1 by cos minus 1 by sin is equals to 4 by 3. And by cross multiplying, you could see that you get sin theta minus cos theta is equals to actually 4 by 3 times sin theta into cos theta. This is the value. But you don't know exactly what is the value for this product of sine and cosine. To get that, you again use the same equation, you square on both sides, you will get the two values for that sine theta cos theta. So when you do the squaring, we will get the option B, but let me verify that for you. So LHS after squaring will become 1 minus 2 sine theta cos theta, and RHS will become 16 by 9 sine square theta cos square theta. Now what I am doing is, I am taking t be equal to sine theta into cos theta. So it will become 16t square minus 18t, sending 9 on the LHS side. Then minus this will become plus, bringing to all terms one side, then minus 9 equal to 0. This is the quadratic equation you will get by putting this t as. So 16 nines up. So for that 16 nines you have 144. So it's 2 sevens and 2s. Then we have 3 2s, right? Then 3 4s, 24. Yeah, 24 and 6. Right? So 16t square plus 24t minus 6t minus 9 is equals to 0. When you solve, taking this 8 table common here, 2s plus 3, then minus 3 is table common there, 2s plus 3 is equals to 0. So basically you are getting t is equals to minus 3 by 2 or t is equals to 3 by 8. But t is equal cannot be negative here, because if you take that, it means that sine theta into cos theta negative, which is impossible in the first quadrant. So that is impossible. So only the value of t that matches is 3 by 8. So when t is 3 by 8, what is this value that we are demanded? 4 by 3 into 3 by 8, which will be only half. And hence the answer for this, for this particular question, already I told you it's option B. Coming on to the next question now. In this, they are asked to consider the statements to verify which are correct. See here, this is about the triangle ABC. Means A plus B plus C is 180 degrees, pi. Now they spoke about the half angle first. And for that B plus C they are combining. So B plus C by 2 can be written as pi by 2 minus A by 2. Dividing by 2 both sides and sending A by 2 on other side. Now what ratio you want to apply on both sides? Sine. LHS is important. Then you get the RHS. So when you take sine on both sides, sine of B plus C by 2, you will get sine of pi by 2 minus A by 2. Sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. Theta is A by 2 here. So first is correct. And when you apply this statement, applying tan of ratio on both sides. So tan B plus C by 2, tan of 90 minus theta, which will be cot theta. So cot A by 2. Second also correct. First also correct. What about the third and fourth? Can they be correct? No, they will not, because I'll tell you B plus C will be equal to pi minus A. And when you apply sine on both sides, sine of B plus C will be equals to sine of pi minus A. Second quadrant, sine is positive only. Sine of pi minus A will be sine A. But they say cos A, wrong. Here also the second part, cot is impossible. There will be minus tan A. So 3 and 4 are wrong. So what are correct? Only 1 and 2 are correct, and the option B for this. Alright, and now coming on to the last question of this session. From the top of a lighthouse 100-meter high, there is a top of a lighthouse which is 100-meter high. The angle of depression of a boat is, suppose here there is a boat, and the angle of depression, this is a horizontal line of sight. This angle of depression which they mentioned will be alternately made here. So this is tan inverse of 5 by 12 given. So what is the distance between the boat and the lighthouse? Distance between the boat and the lighthouse. Here is the lighthouse, there is the boat. So you are asked this length x. Okay, and this lighthouse is perpendicular to the ground. So you can see that this given, you consider it to be theta. So tan of theta is opposite 100 upon adjacent x. Now this is same as tan inverse of 5 by 12, isn't it? So 100 upon x. So for principal domain, tan inverse identity. So 5 by 12 is equals to 100 by x, which gives you x is equals to 100 divided by 5 into 12. So 20 into 12. So you have got 240 meters. And hence the answer option C for this particular question. Hopefully solutions are clear to you. Must revise such all similar questions to have enough practice for handling questions on trigonometry. All the very best, students. Stay tuned to my channel. I'll be helping you out with the further videos.